The news hype and excitement surrounding XRP, XLM, and XDC right now is absolutely insane, and I think moving forward that we have a clear winner in terms of which one I'm going to be investing in. And if we understand exactly what's been happening in this latest news for crypto, it's going to absolutely blow these cryptos to the moon. So guys, hit the like button and let's get into this video. Now, as we look across at cryptobubbles.com, great free website to visualize what we can see. In the last month, we can see that we've seen XLM, XDC, and XRP having a phenomenal month. Obviously, XRP settled that lawsuit, which had a positive impact on not only XRP, but XLM and the majority of other cryptos, to be honest, because it was a very positive move in general. Now, why are we seeing these particular coins, as well as a couple of others, but there for another video, seeing a real push towards the upside? Well, it's because of ISO 20022, and you're like, what is that? Maybe you do know what it is, but it's really important to understand given the other piece of news that we'll look at. Now, for those of you who don't understand what this is, effectively it's a compliance structure, compliance language, streamlining communication for things like payments, securities, funds, foreign exchange trading, and credit card sectors. And you're like, well, how does it work? Okay, fair enough. Well, as an English person, I understand what football is. As an American, you may understand football as having a different meaning, a completely different sport. And this is an example where things can go wrong when we talk about cross-border payments and things like that. So ISO 20022 is effectively something like a language that is understood worldwide, okay? And if you're compliant to that structure, then it means that you are compliant with sending these messages. It makes it much easier for developers to build upon. It makes it much easier for cross-border payments and so many other things. And specifically, XRP and XDC are ISO-compliant tokens. That's very big. Now, why is it so big? Well, you've probably noticed very recently, after that SEC stuff, we're now moving towards BlackRock launching a Bitcoin ETF. All these kind of things pushing pro-crypto. Now, we've seen it happening in the past in the likes of El Salvador and Brazil and whatever. But now, we've seen something very significant happening. And in the UK, the King of England has signed off on a crypto bill. Now, this is very important because the UK has pretty much been the center of the financial world up until very recently for a very long period of time. And that means that we now have the center pretty much previously of global banking system moving towards digitization. That's really important. Last week, King Charles signed the Financial Services and Market Measure, completing the process for measures to become a law and giving regulators the power to monitor cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. This step, known as a royal assent, is merely a procedural formality following the lawmakers' agreement and effectively transforms the bill into the Financial Services and Marketing Act. And you're like, well, why is this such a big deal? Well, the UK, whose main export is financial services and runs a huge portion of global foreign exchange and other trading mediums, has just become, or announced, that it's going to become a digital economy. Now, why is that so important? Well, the global markets, and we're talking all sorts of different things, but using financial instruments, is worth around $4.9 trillion and is growing around 3.9% every single year. And once that starts to go digitized, then we're going to see an absolute game change in cryptocurrency. So, which of these coins are now in a position to be able to take on that burden? Well, we know that XRP sits in a great position. XRP is one of the oldest cryptocurrencies and is used for cross-border payment solutions. It's extremely effective at what it does, and that's why it's been able to gather such a large market cap over a period of time. Now, guys, there's far more technical videos out there explaining exactly what XRP is and XDC is, and that's for more technical people than myself to explain to you. But as a non-technical person, I would assume that most people watching this video are also non-technical when it comes to crypto. I'm just going to try and break it down and make it as simple as possible. If I want to send GBP to someone in America and I want them to receive USD, effectively I have Ripple tokens that are basically passed between, and that person gets to cash out in their own currency. Now, that's very simple. Ripple does a really good job of this and is used for institutional funds, movement of money, which is a huge, huge market, the Forex market. Every day around $6 trillion is traded through the Forex market. That's very exciting. XLM does something slightly different in that it's peer-to-peer transactions, so me sending someone else money rather than a bank sending money to another bank or something like that. But one thing that we need to consider when we're looking at XRP right now is that it has a $37 billion market cap. Pretty big. I do assume that it's going to go significantly bigger than that, given the amount of play that it's going to have in the market going forward. But remember, going forward, it's going to take some time for this to kind of knock on to the actual value of XRP going forward. Now, I do anticipate XRP gaining aggressively into the future. And there is a good setup going on, and we'll take a look at the charts slightly later on for XRP and what it means going forward. Ripple as well has some phenomenal partnerships going forward. They're well set up. We know, guys, that we're going to make money in XRP. Let's be honest. Okay, that's not financial advice. I'm just sort of taking into account all the things I'm thinking about, reading about, understanding. XRP has a good future. But big market cap, $6 billion. What about other coins that will fit into the ecosystem? What about XDC? Now, jumping across to Sinfin, which is short for Sin in Chinese, meaning new, and Sin financial, basically Fin finance. Okay, so new finance. Effectively, it does similar things to what XRP does, but in a different way. Okay, it actually handles a few other things rather than just focusing on like cross-border payment solutions like XRP. It also combines the power of a public and a private blockchain with interoperable smart contracts for the financial services industries. This means that it's able to handle things like supply chain management, not just things like finance, and all sorts of other features across the financial world. Now, what does it mean by public and private blockchain? Well, effectively what it means is it can share information between different companies privately and publicly. Now, if you think about this, there's lots of things that maybe is useful to have on a public blockchain so that people can understand what's going on. It may also be important for things like compliance and law and that, etc. But however, we don't want things like private information such as bank account details and whatever to be leaked. Therefore, it needs to go through a private blockchain. These two things can happen concurrently on the Sinfin network. That's very important. But if we understand this, from a non-technical investor point of view, do these projects solve problems? Yes. Are they compliant with the future? Yes. Are countries and companies around the world starting to move towards a tokenized digital world? Yes. Are they going to be using the likes of XRP and XDC? Yes. The market is also showing you this right now as you see them both pushing towards the upside. Now, what's important is we do have still a bit of an indecision in the air when it comes to cryptocurrency. Later on, we have the FOMC meeting discussing interest rates on the macro level. Are we going to see the US increasing interest rates again to get inflation under control? The consensus out there is yes. That means that we are still a little bit uncertain about whether they're going to see huge growth in crypto over the next few months, especially if those rate hikes come in aggressively. The SEC comes in more hawkish than dovish, meaning more aggressive in its stance on inflation. We will just have to wait and see. So what that effectively means is we have to then go and look at these different projects, because is it a good time to buy? We'll have a look at some charts. Before we look at some charts, remember XRP market cap currently sat $37 billion. So for those of you who are very new to crypto and don't understand this, if you want to put in $100 to Ripple or XRP, right now and buy an XRP, $100. If you want to make $10 on your $100, that means XRP needs to grow by 3.7 billion with a B dollars. So for you to make $10, XRP needs to gain $3.7 billion. Big amounts of money, okay? $3.7 billion is a lot of money. Doesn't mean that you can't do it, obviously. And in contrast, XDC, which is currently down 6.65% today, notably, because it had a very big push towards the upside yesterday, has a market cap of $751 million. So if you put $100 into XDC and you want to make $10 on your $100, I know you want to make much more, just bear with me, then that only needs to add $7.5 million to its market cap. I think you start to understand that while we might see more growth in XRP, given that the future is very big and they already have a huge amount of partners and that kind of stuff, well, yeah, you're right. XRP will probably become a much, much bigger cryptocurrency than XDC or Sinfin. But I don't care because I want to make percentage returns, okay? Percentage returns, so I need to consider the market cap. And yes, there's other things you can look at, guys, like fully diluted market caps and circulating supply and all these things. And you can see that XDC does have a very big fully diluted market cap, which means it's going to be releasing tokens into the ecosystem all the time, which ultimately is a bearish thing because obviously we're going to get our money diluted. This is what inflation is, and that's how it's a problem for us. Yeah, worth paying attention to. But first of all, let's just look at XRP, shall we? XRP over on the charts. This is a 4-hour chart. we can see something very interesting. Now, guys, I tell you time and time again the importance of buy zones, and I will look at this in a later video because it's just been so obvious recently what's been going on. Now, the reason I'm making videos about XRP and XDC right now, rather than when everyone else was making videos about after they kind of did this, was because I wanted to show you why we should wait for pullbacks. Because everyone, a lot of people at least, were FOMOing into this. You don't want to be buying those massive ass green candles, guys, because then they pull back on you. Look, if you were buying up here, at some point you'd be down 27%. And you're right, XRP will probably be worth much more than this in the future. But still, you're still sat in the red when there's no need to be if you are patient. What we can see after we get this pullback is a pullback into this zone. And look at what happens. We wick down into it, and that wick, this like long thin bit attached to that bigger candlestick, shows that suddenly as we push down, people want to buy it, okay? Pushes down, people want to buy it. In the same way, up here, people wanted to sell it. This is a good indicator that maybe we've been exhausted for now, okay? The buyers are starting to disappear, the sellers are coming in. We want to be very cautious of buying coins after they've got big wicks towards the upside. So what we do is we wait patiently for a pullback to an interesting area. We get this pullback here. Now, I don't want to buy here because it might just do this and just tail off and keep coming down eventually, who knows? And it does happen. So we just need to be patient. Now, we know that once it pushes out of here once, it's likely going to have to come back to here again. And there's a reason for that. Big money want to buy, but they can't do it all at once because it will push the price too much, and you can see this happen. So they have to be patient, they have to wait. So we wait. Okay, this is what, 15th, 14th July. Literally, 10 days later, we come down into this same area. And remember, I can draw my nice green box in here, and I make it green so that I know not to sell, and I know to buy. Green means go for me, okay? It can mean something else for you. But I know, in my opinion, if it gets back into here, it was a good purchase. In my opinion, do your own research. So what I do, make my green box. Lo and behold, what happens the next time XRP arrives in here? We literally wick in, and then what happens? We're up 5%. Now, you're like, oh, that's only 5%. 5% up is better than 25% down. I think you'll agree. And it also means that I'm nice and calm right now. If we get a further pullback, fine. Then I can identify further buy zones along the way, and maybe I can add some more cash in. Where is XRP going? Guys, it's so difficult to speculate on the value of XRP going forward, or at least the perceived value. I want to warn you off about people or having this kind of like mindset. Going in and being like, oh, well, the global trade is worth like $7 trillion per day. This is, going to be all done in XRP tokens. So it's going to be worth like at least this much. That's a really dangerous way of thinking. Yes, it's important to notice amounts of money and the volume of people trading coins, but there's so many other factors at play that will drive the price up and down, okay? Don't get hung up on having massive price estimations where you're going to see 1,000x, 10,000x on XRP. It's still worth like $1 billion. It's still worth like $6 billion. How many times did you read in the last bull market that Bitcoin was going to do this? Looking at XRP right now, I think is realistic that we could be looking towards a $10 token, and that's being a bit like cautious. Throw a bit of caution to the wind. Use these bigger cut coins right now that are moving to make some quick early money, and then move it out of those coins, and then you can go and find 10x's, degenerate, 1,000x's, hundreds of x's, who knows. You probably aren't going to be seeing in the short term, or at least this bull market, I'm talking up until 2026, XRP making anything more than like a 50 or 100x. I think that would be really, really ambitious for a coin of this size already. Could be wrong, do your own research. Now, next one to pay attention to then is XDC. Now, why am I so much more excited about XDC, and why should we not be buying right now? Good question. Well, first of all, I'm more excited, guys, because of what I just told you. Because of the market cap. It still fulfills a narrative very similar to what XRP does in terms of what the public know about it, in terms of how it's going to push forwards. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, you haven't addressed this, and you haven't addressed this technical side. Now, I actually spoke to a friend of mine the other day who works for a very, very big crypto investment firm in London. He used to be in banking, living in New York, working for Citibank. Now, he has had enough of crypto. He hates it because he spends tons and tons of time investing in all the technicalities and all the knowledge behind what goes on and how these project works. And then he's like, Yeah, and I invested in this coin that's just phenomenal tech, and yet it did like 1x. And then like a coin with a dog on does like a 500x. It breaks him. For me, I love that because I'm non-technical, okay? So I don't delve completely deep into all these things because I know that actually there's another factor that drives crypto markets. One is marketing. The second one is like hype train that's built off of basically narratives that people can understand. That's important. Obviously, we have to fundamentally have a good project behind us, but just because a project's better than another doesn't mean that it's going to outperform it, guys. Let's get that out of your head. Let's get back into it, okay? XDC right now, $750 million market cap. It's not tiny by any means, but it has far more upside potential given that it doesn't need so much money to flow into it for it to push up. That's why I would rather invest in XDC than XRP probably right now, but not right now because I'm not going to buy a coin that's just done this. Why not? Why are most people buying these coins when they do this? Guys, shiny object syndrome is what I'm going to start calling it. Don't buy massive green candles because you get big red ones afterwards. Now we have seen a nice pullback today and you can see it's starting to pull back a bit more. Why is it pulling back? There's a few things we can do to understand why it's pulling back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little horizontal line, a little hat on it here, and I'm going to zoom out on the XDC chart to a weekly chart. Look, coming across what happened in XDC last time we were here. You can see that we came up and you can see that this area, an area of resistance after that little dump there. We turn it into resistance. It's going to be quite difficult for XDC to break through here, okay? So what I would anticipate is a pullback and then a push. Now, where might I see a pullback to? Now, typically after we have a very big push like this, we can get back towards a 50% zone. You're like, what does that mean? So take this little measuring stick, whatever you want to call it, and from the bottom of that body of that candle, go to the top of that body of that candle, and you can see a 50% zone around here. Now what I'm going to do is take my rectangle, draw from the 50% zone, draw it up a bit, and then you can see what I might have identified as a potential buy zone. Why might this be a potential buy zone? Look, this is the top there. Previous lines of resistance flip into support. We've broken that resistance. We will likely come back, okay? When we'll come back, who knows how long it'll take. I could be wrong as well. Could miss that. But look at the daily. If we're bouncing down here, I think that we could well see a bit of a pushback down into this area around, what, 20% down. If we get that 20% down, I'm probably just going to buy XDC. I will leave an alert here ready to go. And literally, I told you this for Casper, just to leave an alert. And I make these alerts during these videos and I forget about these coins, guys, because there's so much going on in crypto, right? It's hard to pay attention. And then look, this was Casper. I made a video and I said that this down here looked like a good buy zone. Look what happened yesterday. It wicked all the way down to this buy zone. And then within like another 10 hours or so, it's back up 12%. So you'd be happy you would have bought up here. Whereas all those people buying those big candles up here, big green candles, would be down 11% right now. Or what, 9%. I'd rather be 12% up than 9% down. Very simple, okay? Guys, if you want to learn more about these projects, obviously go and find more tech on these side of things. Look at Zinfin, XDC, very cool. You've got the website here, you got all the information, you got X. You can go over to Ripple, you can learn about these. Use ChatGPT to tell you exactly what all these things are. You can learn about things like delegated proof of stake, like Zinfin is. Learn things about different ledgers, different technology, how XRP works, how XDC works, how to compare them, whether one's going to do better than the other. ChatGPT is your friend, guys. If you don't learn how to use ChatGPT, then there's a chance that you might get replaced very quickly in the future when AI starts to take over the world. Let me know what your thoughts on that down below. Guys, also, something I want to point out, coming down through Zinfin, you can see all of the different places, all the different partners that we've got lined up. But there's one I want to point out, and it is the Decent wallet. Now, the House of Crypto is fortunate enough to be sponsored by Decent. There is a link down below in the description where you can get a discount on a safe, secure biometric wallet. It uses a fingerprint to be able to access your crypto. Extremely exciting. It works with just a smartphone. You don't need to plug it in. It works through Bluetooth. And that is very, very important. You don't need a laptop to carry around with you. You can keep safe with your crypto by using your hardware wallet with a biometric fingerprint scanner. Link down below in the description. You will get a discount through that, guys. It does also obviously support XDC. So if you want to hold XDC, there's also around 2,000 other tokens it supports. You can find more on that link down below, exactly what it's supporting. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.